want you to read this with me. We are spending, as you recall, every month, we are going through here and looking at a different letter in the word extraordinary. And we've already spent time looking at the EX, the T, the R, and everything. And now we are looking this month at the I in the word extraordinary. First of all, I want to give a hand. I want to make sure everybody who knows we serve an extraordinary God, would you just give God a hand clap of praise in Jesus' name? So join me now in reading the same banners on either side, because we have served an extraordinary God. Let's read this together. Ordinary people become what? Extraordinary. How? Trusting in an extraordinary God. And because we trust in an extraordinary God, we too then are able to have an extraordinary life as well. So if you are ready to embrace the extraordinary life that God has already made available for you, would you just join me one more time in giving God a hand clap of praise in Jesus' name? So part of embracing this extraordinary life comes with an understanding of what Jesus did on the cross when he died. It has to be more our understanding of his death, and more important, his resurrection. Has to be more than one day a year when we go back and talk about an Easter bunny and Easter eggs and things like that. It has to be an understanding of what it is that God has already done for us through Jesus. So join me now if you would. We're talking about this invitation. This entire day we're talking about this invitation. So read this with me if you would. You are invited to the celebration of embracing and enjoying imputation. How do we get that? Through Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world. Again, you're invited to the celebration of embracing and enjoying imputation. How? Through Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world. One more time. You are invited to the celebration of embracing and enjoying imputation. How? Through Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world. So let's think about this. So whenever you have been invited somewhere, tell me what you have to do in order to take advantage of an invitation. What do you have to do? Open it up. All right. There has to be some way to go through here to say if they already have some reserved seating, save a place for me as well. So I want to spend just a moment going through your ABCs of this invitation. So first of all, you have to, if an invitation is extended to take advantage of, what's the AOP? You got to do what? Got to accept it. But then the second, that must to be up here, we must also what? Believe. We are believing in the cause. We believe in what we're doing. We believe in what's going on. And lastly, what the C is what? Commit. Commit to going. Don't reserve your space at a wedding reception when the plate costs $500 a piece and don't show up. There has to be a level of acceptance, belief, and also commitment as well. So we had limitation. Recently the church had a party. The last party we went to, y'all remember the last one, the joint party we had was my wife's celebration, a surprise party. That's why her mouth was open like that. It was a surprise for her. And you all remember we went in there and we had an opportunity to go in, and we had a time in here, went over next door, and we, at this point, everybody who was coming had to, first of all, accept that they were coming. Believed in the fact that we went over there in the cause, the celebration of our party, and then also commit to coming. We had two people who said they accepted it, who didn't commit to coming. So if there's an invitation given, the least we could do is follow through on the commitment we wait to go. Amen? So as a result of this, our little party there. So we get the little photographer took out, so that that Sister Lisa was standing right here. Amen. She helped coordinate everything that was going on, and then we had. I know that some of y'all haven't eaten right now, but that day we threw down. It was delicious. It was wonderful. It was an amazing meal that we had, and that was a portion. Now that's not today. Now don't y'all happy. That was before. And then during this time, and you had Sister Paulette up here. Now you notice Sister Paulette, now there was a comedian that we had, and he was extremely funny, but you notice she was not going to put down a chocolate cake. So the idea was we had an opportunity to go in and celebrate her birthday. An invitation was extended. Many of us accepted it. We believed in the cause of celebrating that, and in turn also went in and committed to come. And look at that, look, and I don't know if y'all see Amaya, they're trying to duck on the side like she couldn't be seen. But the idea was we had a wonderful time of celebrating and embracing the commitment that we had. So here was our Christian meeting. And you know my goddaddy had to make it on to give him a high five right in the middle of his program right there. So Akintume was the actual comedian. And so again, in order to reserve to come in there, everybody had to go in and accept, believe, and also commit to receiving that. Now, I told you that was my wife's surprise birthday party. So when you take a picture, who should be in the middle? The person whose birthday party it is. That's my mama just taking over everything and everybody's around her because she is the son and we rotate around her. But that day was a wonderful day of Sarah. So let me give you an invitation right now. On the 17th of November is our 20th anniversary. Folks, give God a hand there. 20 years of ministry. And so we invited to that as well. So the idea, so the ABCs, so read this with me. This is our theme verse for the year. Read this, please. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for him. So again, the invitation is extended. We have to do, first of all, the A is what? Accept it. Secondly, do what? Believe. And then thirdly, commit to it. Everything that goes on with the Lord, first of all, has to come back with an idea or a willingness to accept what he says. Many of us have thought things and said things and believed things that were incorrect. So we have to accept what God has provided. And in turn, believe what he said. If I find out something in the word that is contrary to what I believed in the past, I have to be willing to replace old information with new revelation. Amen now. I have to be willing to go back and replace this old information that may not be correct with new revelation. And part of this imputation we're going to talk about in a moment is people have grown up for so long believing that what makes us righteous is our behavior and not our belief. It is hard to replace the old information with new revelation. So read this. What does it say right here? Your mindset matters. If the football team believes they're going to lose every game this year, what's going to happen? They going to lose. But if they know right now they're coming here with an amazing coach, amazing staff, amazing teammates, and they're going to go undefeated throughout the conference, then they have increased their probability of making sure that they can win. You're not going to, let me say it another way. You're not going to go higher than your mindset. If your mind says you're going to make a C, that's the highest you're going to go. If your mind says you're going to fail, that's as high as you're going to go. Your mindset matters. Your mind has to be set on receiving everything God has and set on being being everything God has created us to be. So this little part right here you have in your slides, 98% of people are in this circle right here. 98% talks about living in fear and just getting by and settling. You know anybody in life who's settling? Other than the person that you look in the mirror? They're settling in life. But then on the outside, 2% of the population going out here embracing abundance, living out without limits, excited about life. Another point, this 98%, these are the people who have the same thoughts day after day, same behaviors day after day. That the mind is set on mediocrity instead of being set on being extraordinary. Do I have anybody who is ready to have your mind set on being extraordinary? Anybody who is ready to have your mind set that I am extraordinary because I serve an extraordinary God? So if you want to have some new results, what do you have to have? You want to have some new, you cannot get new results with the same old mindset. If you want some new results, it only will come from a new mindset, a mind that is being set. Just like, when you're driving in a car and you have cruise control, the speed is set. Our mind has to be set to be all God has called us to be. So if you want to change your life, change your what? If you want to change your life, change your what? You want to change your life, you must change your mindset. See, nothing's going to be handed to us. But our role is to say, God, I trust you enough, and I believe you enough, and I rely on you enough. I thank you right now, God, you already have a perfect path laid out for my life. I'm just going to follow your leading and your prompting and your direction as well. Read this with me from Colossians 3, 1 through 2, please. Let's read this together. Since then, you have been raised with Christ. Do what? What? Set your hearts on things above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. That's verse 1. And just in case we missed it in verse 1, he picks up in verse 2. What's the first word in verse 2? Set your minds on things above, not earthly things. So this decree, a decree we've been talking about every week, is something we decide, something that's binding, it's something that's decreed as well. Let's read this together. I declare I am special and extraordinary. I am not average. I have been custom made. I am one of a kind. Keep reading. Of all the things God created, what he is most proud of is me. Keep going. I am his masterpiece, his most prized possession. I will keep my head held high, knowing I am a child of the Most High God, made in his very image. This is my declaration. If you embrace that declaration, please join me one more time and give God a hand clap of praise. Our minds have to be set on excellence, being set on being extraordinary, being set on being more than enough, being set instead of always being set to settle for mediocrity and being average. At some point, we have to make Jesus died on the cross for us to live an extraordinary life. So our minds have to be set to embrace the extraordinary life he has given to us. So we've been talking this entire month about finding joy in the journey. So again, we take a look at this, read this one more time with me. You are invited to the celebration of embracing and enjoying imputation through Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world. Now this first spiritual principle, let's read our mission statement. Let's read this together. What is it? We are embracing and enjoying life. How many really ready to start embracing and enjoying life? I mean, give God a hand clap of praise and get ready to embrace and enjoy life. Now, this is the verse we read. Read it again, Romans 12:1 Message Translation. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for him. Keep going, please. So our confessions for this month we said here. Let's read this together. I operate in a spirit of exceptional excellence. I embrace and enjoy the impartation of God's imputation. So let's take a look at what we're talking about here. The impartation of God's imputation. The impartation of God's imputation. So impartation. What does impartation mean? If somebody's imparting you, what are they doing here? What's impartation? Okay, let me read it. I wasn't clear. I'm going to ask the question. You're going to now answer. What is impartation? What impartation? So impartation is simply the transmission or delivery or giving information. Impartation is transmitting, it's giving, it's providing information. And so there are multiple examples that we have, and I don't know why they went through here and messed up the original Lion King with the cartoons, and now they got this other thing out. But the idea was there was a part when Mufasa was imparted into Simba after Simba messed it. Y'all know the story. Simba took Nyla out to outside of the ram there, and the hyenas tried to go back in and take him out. And then Whoopi Goldberg's character talked about at this point. He said every time you hear that name Mufasa, that means power. It's just power. So let's say that name Mufasa. Mufasa. And so as a result, at that point, then Simba received impartation from Mufasa, saying, "Don't you ever put yourself and put Nyla or anybody else in harm's way again." He was transmitting information. Anytime a coach is telling some things about it to a player to execute plays, anytime a teacher is sharing some information to help people pass, anytime a parent is trying to share some things to help their child be all God called them to be, that's a matter of impartation. All impartation is, it is to give over, it's to share, it's also to release and bring forth or transfer. So knowledge went from one person to another. Information went from one person to another. So what we're talking about here then is, first of all, this impartation that God has shared, God has given, God has transferred information about imputation. Now here's our question here. Imputation. Now everything we've been talking about is about imputation. If we can walk away with an understanding of what imputation is, I would offer that becomes freedom for us to embrace everything God has for us in life. And put it another way, We will never be able to live an extraordinary life or live the life God has called us to live until